Alright guys, welcome aboard. I'm going to take a little hop in the old Archer here from French Valley over to Apple Valley out in the high desert in California. So let's get her fired up over here. Some scattered clouds, well kind of there's some broken clouds too, but there's sun, although it looks kind of dreary out here right now. I don't like how dark it makes X-plane look when you're in the shadow. But anyway, let's get fired up over here. We'll get our battery power on. Actually, before we do that, let's just make sure we're fueled up. And we're going to refill our tanks, recharge our battery, we'll turn all that off. And one thing I want to do is turn down the sounds because I always hate the gyro in here. I think it's a little bit too loud. So I usually crank that one down. Alright, and one other thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and turn up my panel lights. Alright, everything's up. There we go. Now we're on. Alright, alternator, fuel pump on. Let's go ahead, go mixture rich. Come over here, we'll start on the left tank. Get the left magneto on, our nav light on. Suck down some coffee. Hopefully I can stay in the plane for the whole flight. Alright, we're ready to get started up. Alright, we got a good start. Fuel pump can come off. Get our magneto on. We'll put our strobe lights on and landing lights on too. What the heck. Come down here and get the mixture turned down a little bit, and I want to keep running right around 800 to 1,000 RPM so we don't foul the spark plugs here. Let's get the avionics turned on, pitot heat on, autopilot on, get our transponder on here, and we are on VFR, I believe. Yep, there we go. Get our second radio on. Alright, this is going to be a straight shot anyway, so it's going to be pretty straightforward here. Actually, that does look a little loud, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this down just a bit. There we go. Come on, save. And let me grab my altimeter setting really quick over here. Let's see, Hemet's the closest one to French Valley, 29er83. Let's go ahead and set that over here. 29, there's 298. Oh, come on. 298, 292. There's about 3, I think. Close enough. Alright. We're ready to taxi out of here. I should have taken a look at my winds too while I had my weather up, so let me look at that again. Winds out of the north, 20 to 26 knots. Yeah, it's windy out there today. We had a cold front pass through last night. Had a little bit of rain, and now it's like it's looking nice out there. It's a little chilly though. I think it's only like 55 degrees or something. It was like 87 the other day. So big change for us. Alright, I don't know what I got in here, but I'm going to clear this out. Yeah, no, that's not what I wanted to do. I want to go direct to Apple Valley, which is, oh, what's the identifier there? APV. So let's go over here. K. A, come on. EV. There we go. Enter, enter, activate. Perfect. Alright. What's our initial heading out of here? Anyway. I don't know, we'll just eyeball it. Alright, everything else looks good. So we will be taking off to the north. Get my coffee out of the way here. Alright, parking brake off. pull out of here. Hope everybody had a good weekend. And I cut across the ramp here to save a little bit of time. And let me adjust this volume again. There we go. Someplace around there looks good. Oh, it's a hectic Monday today. Just finished working and thought I'd go tool around in the old Archer here a little bit. And I go outside here and do a flyby. And it's not quite this dark in real life. Come on, stay on the taxiway there. Doing a fast taxi here. Hey Scott, welcome aboard. Still unpacking, yeah. I've got stuff in my garage that has been packed up from my last move for like 20 years. Gonna start doing some archery again. Nice. Yeah, it's always nice to pick up some old hobbies. I tend to rotate through hobbies, especially with the weather here. So I go surfing and paddleboarding in the summer. Then I switch over to going to the shooting range in the fall, or winter actually. And then I stay inside and play FlightSim right about this time of year. Yeah. Not a lot of time to sit in front of the PC. I hear you. I might not have as much time as I currently have because we're looking to get a new puppy. And that might take over a little bit of my time. But that won't happen for at least another month or so. Alright, let's see. What do I gotta do here? We're just gonna eyeball this. Alright, so flaps are up. A guy that owns an otter. Leave it to the Japanese. They got some quirky pets, I think. Alright, let's see. Flaps are up. Trim tab. Let's go down here and double check our trim. Right about in the center. Alright, we'll get our mixture up. I guess we'll do a proper run up here just to make sure I'm set correctly here. Alright, right about 1800, and then I'm going to lean for about 15, 16 on the EGT. Right there, that looks good. We won't check the magnetos. Alright, so lights are on. Transponders on, flaps are up, and trim tab is set. A small claw otter, really? What the heck is that? Yeah, having any kind of pet is a full-time job, so, and we're getting a puppy, like, so we're gonna have a baby for a year. I got used to my my old dog Sam there that unfortunately passed away in November. He was just short of 15 years, so he was all settled in. I think all animals have fast metabolism, right? That's why like dogs only live like, you know, 15 years. something like that. Man, we got a serious crosswind here. Or at least it's bucking me around again. I got my aileron set. There's 60. Let's get off the ground before we crash it here. Look at that crosswind. Wow. I guess we got some turbulence finally. Otters eat 5 meals a day. It sounds like my cat. Alright, we are up. The landing lights off. And let's see, autopilot. I'm going to go heading hold here. We're not going to use the GPS today, because it's just a straight shot over to Apple Valley. So we're going to go heading hold. Trim it up for a nice... I didn't want to do that. I guess we're going to use vertical speed here. We'll set that right about 900 and climb on out. Turn down that sound a little bit more. My goodness, this plane is loud. Trimmed up on the rudder here a little bit. It's a nice clear day, at least in Southern California, visibility wise. And I can adjust my heading here a little bit. Come on. Just the old HSI here. Do I have to push something? Yeah, I do. I gotta go GPS. There we go. And close enough on the heading there. I guess I can go nav. Bring up some tunes. We'll go with the old playlist here. Not too loud. And I'm gonna go ahead. Let's see, we don't have any iPad in here, do we? Alright, let's bring up the chart. Bring up Los Angeles. We'll take a look at that. And we should go pretty much right over the Banning Pass. So Apple Valley is... Come on, where are you? Right there. That's where we're headed. So we should... What do we got here? 8,900, 11. What's the highest peak over here? We can scoot by here. Just over 8,000. So we'll keep our climb out. Adjust the mixture here a bit. Start leaning it out. One thing I really don't like in X-Plane is the turbulence. I use the FS Global Real World Weather Injector, and I have the turbulence setting in there set to like maximum, but it still doesn't give you enough turbulence. On a windy day like this, we'd still be bouncing around quite a bit. You gotta have like some serious turbulence in X-plane for it to really register. Alright, I'm gonna bring up my other screen here and we'll take a look at Apple Valley Airport. There we go. Alright, so there it is. Zoom out a little bit. Just over the hills into the desert on the north side of Apple Valley. Interesting little airport here. It's got a little aviator cafe, which looks cool. Take a look at that. That don't look too healthy. How are we doing on our climb here? I'm going to adjust this just a little bit. Make sure we don't get too slow. That looks good. Yeah, there we go. There's our $200 hamburger. Got lost. There we are. Interesting little airport, and unfortunately I think we can get a street view in this corner and go up a little bit farther here. That's as far as it goes. It won't let me go down this way, but what is that, a Sabre jet I think sitting here? Really, no diners or anything. Not any. No little burger joints. Usually the airports have something, but yeah, this is Apple Valley. A lot of dirt. Oh yeah, private clubs. Yeah, I'm sure they've got some places to eat. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I've never eaten at this place we're going to in Apple Valley. I've flown in there in real life a couple of times when I was building time way back when. Alright, we're gonna go, yeah, okay, we're westerly heading. We'll go to 8,500 and we'll speed up to get there. I'm not even sure how long it's gonna take us. Long Island loves to not have amenities, huh? Alright, waiting for 8,500 and click, hold that altitude. Bring the power back a little bit here so I don't redline it. Yeah, LaGuardia. I'm trying to think if I've ever flown into LaGuardia. I'm not sure. I might have. I mean, in real life. Hideous, huh? Yeah. Hey, so here's a little tidbit of information. So with the coronavirus that's going around, this is March Air Reserve Base. This is where you might have heard they flew some people in, like that worked for the government, that were in China. This is where they're staying for the next week or so. They flew in a chartered looked like a 747-200 or something. I don't know. It looked like an older one. They chartered that, flew in like I think like 100 people or something, and they're quarantining them over here in March just to make sure they don't have the virus. Nice view of Mount San Jacinto there, just off the wing. Palm Springs on the other side. Yeah, kind of like SARS. What's that other one? Mars was the other one. Supposedly started, it came from an animal, apparently. Not sure what kind of animal. And then you can't really believe the Chinese government, so who knows what the numbers are like in real life. I've watched a couple other guys that have Chinese-centric channels on YouTube, you know, because they lived in China, and you know their spouses are Chinese, and they were saying that yeah, the government's pretty much lying. You can't trust them. That you know, so they're saying like whatever, 10,000 infected or something like that. It's probably 20 times that. I think the latest number I saw, at least this morning, was like 360 dead. So times that by 10, who knows how many people are dead. There we go, finally, no shadow. And let me see, where's Hemet? Did we go by Hemet yet? Nope, not yet. Yeah, we already went by Hemet. Manning. Mr. Bernardino. Oh yeah, Hemet's way back there. I used to fly in and out of Hemet all the time. When I learned to fly, I was in San Diego, so a quick hop just to build time would be to fly out of Gillespie Field, come around here, fly into French Valley occasionally, but most of the time I would fly into Hemet because they had a nice little burger joint. Not sure if it's still there. Rhinebeck Aerodrome, where's that? Red Hook, in Red Hook, New York. Cool. Kind of just off the border of Connecticut, Massachusetts. Yeah, there's a lot of places in Southern California that have like little museums, like Chino is one of the bigger ones, which is back that way. well, off the wing actually, down there somewhere. They've got 2 air museums. In fact, I'm planning a trip. I'm going to go out there just to check out the 2 different museums they have. Because I don't live that far away anyway. I kind of drive by it all the time. You got the DVD, huh? Let me see. Do I got to trim? Yeah, I mean trim up a little bit here. Visibility's going downhill a little bit. 1.6 right, yeah. Let me take a look at that. What's that about? Okay, I'm reading on it about it right now. Cool. Oh, hey, we got some turbulence. Is it Van Nuys? Let's take a look. I'm taking a look at Wikipedia. A documentary film about general aviation industry. A local airport. What airport though? Fishman, huh? Yeah, I used to fly into Van Nuys with like Microsoft Flight Simulator. I mean, like one of the, you know, very first ones that was still stick figure. I don't know how many times. What was it? I think it was the Lear. I used to fly the Lear into Van Nuys so many times on that flight simulator. Cool, I have to take a look at this. Oop, wrong one. Yeah, Van Nuys is pretty busy. What do we got here? What airport is this? Is that the former Norton? Yeah. San Bernardino. This used to be Norton Air Force Base. I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah, San Bernardino. I might be wrong. It might be whatever's left over here. Yeah, a nice Lear for the for X-plane. Yeah, I do too. I was looking at who was it? I forgot if it was Castrator or somebody. Somebody was flying the. Maybe it was John flying. I can't remember. I saw somebody flying the was it Challenger 300 the other day. I was tempted to pick up the TBM, but I think I'm gonna hold off for now. You know, I buy airplanes that I like to fly. I mean, you can buy whatever you want in X-plane, you know, or you know, whatever you're into or interested in. But I remember when I bought the Eclipse, it was almost like buying a real airplane. You know, I was like, I went out there, I looked at what was available, I looked at the performance specs for them. you know, saw the range, the climb rates, you know, the service ceilings and everything, because I wanted something that I could stream that let me go a little bit farther than, you know, I try to keep the streams about an hour-ish, you know, and then you can only go so far with a GA airplane, so I wanted something that I could jump out and do something between GA and like the Zibo, you know, airliners in general, where I could go into some of the smaller airports that were a little bit farther away. I could get to them within the hour. So it's kind of funny. That was my thought process when I picked up the Eclipse. Yeah, I like the avionics package too there. Timar, hey, how's it going? Welcome aboard. We're just tooling around here, going from French Valley in Southern California over to Apple Valley, which is in the high desert, not too far from Edwards Air Force Base. Just coming out over Big Bear, out in the mountains there to our right. LA looking kind of hazy all of a sudden. I'm from Southern California, so I live in Southern California. Yeah, the little Scott, the Cirrus Vision jet. Yeah, I was testing that one out. You know, but obviously the default one doesn't have all the avionics and stuff. And yeah, I was gonna say with the Eclipse, I like the avionics package myself too. So that was because I had narrowed it down to the Eclipse and the Citation, and I wanted something that was a little bit easier to fly than the Citation. Not that there's anything wrong with it. But the avionics package in the Eclipse is what put me over to the Eclipse side instead of the Citation. Oh, and the Cirrus jet, you mean? Yeah, it's okay. I think somebody, I don't know if somebody put out like an update to it, or they put out an actual whatever Cirrus jet with that's got a little bit more like the touch panels all work and everything. Uh-oh, we're gonna be doing a Kobe Bryant here. Well, I know we can clear the mountains here on our route, so we're not in any trouble. Phenom 100. Yeah, there's a couple of planes that were, you know, they piqued my interest, but I don't, you know, there's always people having issues, different things with them, or shortcomings of one sort or another. Let's take a look here. Where are we relative to Big Bear? Yep, just back that way. Well, I'm going to pull up my weather injector here. Matter of fact, I'll bring that up on the screen since I don't think I ever show it. Yeah, I like the auto throttle too. I wish it kind of worked in climb too. But other than that, yeah, that's fun to fly. I like flying like you know, RNAV approaches and stuff in the Eclipse. All right, so here's our weather. Here's what's getting injected. Let's take a look at the weather over at Apple Valley. What we got? Oh, it's a little gusty. Winds out of the northeast at 14. Visibility unrestricted. No significant clouds. But I'm sure we'll have something. Yeah, I know. I wish the Eclipse had the VNav. It does do approaches. It does do the, you know, you can do a VNav or an RNav approach. But yeah, I wish it had the VNav capabilities. I mean, the plane's almost completely automated anyway, with the avionics that are in there. There we go. That visibility cleared up nice. So I used to do this, well, not quite this flight, but I used to fly into Apple Valley in real life. I flew out of Carlsbad, or Palomar Airport in San Diego County for, I don't know, a little while. I was just building time, and I would fly with one of these other guys that was doing the same thing. So we hand off, you know, legs so that we can log piloting command time. And one of the places we always popped out to was Apple Valley. Although we never stopped to have burgers there, I don't think. What's this? It almost looked like a pictogram or something on the ground. And don't mind my weird square here. I've been playing around with my ortho, and this is the way ortho stitched everything. I think I'm going to redo my all of my Southern California ortho, because I've got different sections of it are in 17 and some of them are in 16. And the last time I did something, it's doing the stitching here, and it for some reason did this weird border all around Apple Valley. Alright, we're going to start our descent. So let me go to vertical speed. Bring the power back a little bit. And when the winds start getting gusty here in Southern California, we're getting slight Santa Ana wind. So cold front passed through. Winds are out of the north. They're kind of switching around to the northeast. So it kicks up all the dust out here in the desert and blows them right over the top of the mountains and then back down into the valleys. And within a couple hours of that starting, my allergies just kick up. I get my landing light on here. So there is our airport, and what's our heading here? So winds, yeah, I guess we're taking runway. Let's take a look here. What am I trying to do? Airport. KAPV. I think it's runway 3. 36. All right. Yeah, 3.6, so that should give us almost a direct headwind. We'll see if we can't pull off and go over to the burger joint over here. Actually, I think it's right here. I think it was over here someplace. And what's the field elevation here? 3,062. Alright, autopilot off. Let's go ahead and start our descent here. mixture rich a little bit. Do a few S turns here so we can lose some speed or some altitude. Somebody over here getting chased by the cops. Actually, we're not. Yeah, we're 3,000 feet. We're only 3,000 above here, so should be able to make a nice straight in for runway 36 here. Sure, our spark plugs are getting fouled right now. Hey, we used to make straight ins for this runway all the time. If that's the direction you're coming in from. Matter of fact, whoop. Got a wind shift there. And keep the power up a little bit here too. Apple Valley is an interesting little place here. Driven through it many times, but I only stopped off once or twice, I think. I mean, like in real life. Yeah, you kind of eyeball it. Especially in GA. I tend to, at least in real life, when I was flying, I always tended to come in a little bit high. My instructor always drilled it into my head. It was like, oh, what is it? There's nothing worse. There's a saying. So there's nothing more useless in aviation than runway behind you and altitude above you. So a lot of times in real life, I always tended to come in a little bit high and then do S-turns or slips or sometimes a 360 to get down. He always drilled into my head. You always have some plan where you're going to go if the engine quits on you at any time. Alright, let's go first notch of flaps here. We'll let her get slowed down to about 80. Second notch of flaps. Try to hold about 70, 75 here on final. Alright, full flaps. So a little bit of a crosswind here. We'll see if we can't find that restaurant. I think I might have to edit this airport. Put some weeds in here. Alright, over the numbers, power off. 113, not too bad. Flaps up. Alright, let's see if we can find... I got hangars and more hangars. I think the restaurant's all the way back there. Yeah, usually when I would fly into Apple Valley here, we usually did just a touch and go. And then we'd swap controls between me and the other guy, or swap piloting command duties. Yeah, oh baby. Oh baby, yeah, this place is in dire need of grass. We need some weeds here. I hate how flat it looks like this. So I started going through all my airports in like Southern California, and I started planting grass with the world editor. And I think I'm gonna have to do Apple Valley here, because this dirt just isn't looking that realistic. So I'm gonna guess that looks like all hangars. I'm thinking the restaurant's over this way. A lot of King Airs over here. Alright, let's slow it down. I think one of these is supposed to be the restaurant here. Alright, spin it around. Hold on to your hats. There we go. Alright, engines off, parking brake on, turn the fuel off, get everything else off. Pop the door open over here. Come on. There we go. Alright. Welcome to Apple Valley. That was fun. I think next time we're gonna hop over to, well, you know what? We might go over to Mojave. Not too far from here. Check out the planes. We'll stop in at, what the heck's that other one? Yeah, WD-40 for the doors, yeah. We'll pop into Lancaster and then do Mojave. I think that'll be the next flight. At least out here in the old Archer here. I think I'm gonna go plant some grass now though. Anyway, Scott and everybody else, thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna call it a day. I'm gonna go look outside and see how windy it is. It looks sunny, but I can hear my window rattling, and it's not the earthquakes. So, till next time, take care guys.